Welcome to Vault of Comics, where we explore the legendary stories and characters that shaped comic book history. In today's episode, Action Comics number 1, 1938, The Birth of Superman, we're examining what many consider the most important comic book ever published. This single issue didn't just introduce the world's first superhero, it launched an entire genre that would dominate popular culture for generations to come. Superman's iconic S shield has become one of the most recognized symbols worldwide, transcending comics to become a universal emblem of hope and justice. Let's dive into this fascinating story, but first a quick disclaimer. All artwork shown belongs to its original copyright holders, and this video is made under fair use for commentary and educational purposes. The late 1930s were a time of profound uncertainty in America. The Great Depression had shaken people's faith in traditional institutions, while the rise of fascism in Europe cast a dark shadow over the world. The entertainment landscape was dominated by radio shows, pulp magazines, and newspaper comic strips. These cheap diversions offered escape from hard times, with larger-than-life heroes fighting for the common man. The popularity of characters like The Shadow, Doc Savage, and Flash Gordon reflected the public's yearning for powerful champions who could set things right. It was in this environment that two young men from Cleveland, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, created something extraordinary. Their story begins in Glenville High School, where they met and bonded over their shared love of science fiction and adventure stories. Jerry, born in 1914, was the son of Lithuanian Jewish immigrants who ran a haberdashery. Tragedy struck early when his father died during a robbery, an event that would later influence Superman's mission to fight crime. Joe, born in Toronto in 1914, moved to Cleveland as a child. His family struggled financially, and his poor eyesight forced him to draw inches from the paper. Yet he persevered in developing his artistic skills. The duo spent countless nights crafting their hero, drawing inspiration from everything from mythology to popular culture. Early versions of Superman were vastly different. They first conceived him as a villainous telepath, then as a hero without powers. The character evolved through various drafts, including a story called The Reign of the Superman, before finally emerging as the noble hero we know today. Siegel and Shuster worked on their creation while holding down various jobs. Siegel as a writer for trade magazines and Shuster as a delivery boy and artist for hire. After years of rejection from publishers, they finally sold their character to Detective Comics Inc. for just $130, a decision that would haunt them for decades. The contract, signed in March 1938, transferred all rights to their creation, a common but devastating practice in the early days of comics. The debut of Superman in Action Comics number 1 wasn't just a success. It was a revolution that would transform the publishing industry and create a new American mythology. The story opens dramatically on Krypton, a highly advanced planet facing imminent destruction. In these opening pages, we meet Jor-El, a brilliant scientist who desperately tries to convince his fellow Kryptonians of the impending doom. When his warnings go unheeded, he and his wife Lara make the heartbreaking decision to save their infant son by sending him to Earth. The baby's rocket lands in rural America, where he's discovered and taken to an orphanage. The child, who would later be named Clark Kent, soon displays extraordinary abilities. This early version of Superman couldn't fly. Instead, he could leap an eighth of a mile and hurdle 20-story buildings. He was strong enough to lift cars over his head, but not yet capable of the planet-moving feats that would come later. His skin was tough enough to withstand anything less than a bursting shell, making him formidable but not invulnerable. Action Comics number 1 wastes no time showing Superman in action. His first heroic deed is saving an innocent woman, Evelyn Curry, from execution. This establishes Superman not just as a crime fighter, but as a champion of justice who's willing to challenge the system itself. The issue introduces us to Lois Lane, a tough, ambitious reporter who would become one of comics' most enduring characters. At a nightclub, we see the dynamic between Lois and Clark Kent, Superman's alter ego. When Lois dismisses Clark as a coward, we get our first glimpse of the complex dual identity that would become a cornerstone of superhero storytelling. Later, when gangsters threaten Lois, Superman swoops in to save her, demonstrating both his powers and his commitment to protecting the innocent. The story continues with Superman confronting corruption at its source. He interrogates a lobbyist involved in weapons dealing, showing both his physical prowess and his dedication to fighting systemic injustice. This early Superman was more aggressive and direct than later versions, reflecting Depression-era fantasies of taking on the powerful elite. He was a champion of social justice who fought slumlords, corrupt politicians, and war profiteers. The character's popularity exploded beyond comics. The Adventures of Superman radio show debuted in 1940, introducing elements like Kryptonite and Jimmy Olsen. The show ran for over 2,000 episodes, with Bud Collier's iconic voice work establishing how Superman should sound. The famous opening lines, "faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive," originated here, becoming forever associated with the character. The Fleischer Studios' Superman cartoon set new standards for animation quality, with their distinctive art style influencing comics in return. These groundbreaking shorts, with their Art Deco aesthetics and rotoscoped animation, cost $50,000 each to produce, an astronomical sum for 1941. During World War II, Superman became a symbol of American strength and idealism, with covers showing him battling Nazi tanks and Japanese Zeros. The character's popularity spawned an unprecedented merchandising boom, with Superman appearing on everything from lunchboxes and trading cards to clothing and toys. By 1942, Superman merchandise was generating $2.5 million annually, more than any other fictional character at the time. Superman's influence on popular culture cannot be overstated. He established the template for all superheroes that followed: the costume, the powers, the secret identity, and the dedication to fighting evil. The success of Action Comics #1 launched the golden age of comics, inspiring the creation of Batman, Wonder Woman, and countless others. The character's impact extended far beyond entertainment. During the war, soldiers would write, "Superman is coming" on tanks, and military units adopted the S-shield as their insignia. Today, an original copy of Action Comics #1 is one of the most valuable comics ever. With well-preserved copies selling for millions of dollars, in 2014, a pristine copy sold for $3 million. But its true value lies in how it captured the American imagination and created a new mythology for the modern age. Superman's influence can be seen in everything from literature and film to social movements, where his example of standing up for truth and justice continues to inspire. Thank you for joining us on Vault of Comics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into comic book history, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Share your favorite Superman moment in the comments below. Whether it's from comics, movies, or TV shows, we'd love to hear what makes the Man of Steel special to you. Next time, we'll explore the groundbreaking first appearance of Batman in Detective Comics #27, and discover how the Dark Knight provided a fascinating counterpoint to Superman's bright optimism. Until then, remember Superman's enduring message: truth, justice, and hope for a better tomorrow.